Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you are watching one of my videos, a very special welcome to you. I am Madhuri Varma, an ISB alumna, consultant for anything related to academics, career and self-development, and someone who enjoys sharing her learning and experiences with others. You can watch this video to learn more about why I create these videos for you. And while you are at it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get notified when new videos are published. We have all been told time and again that good communication skills can take you a long way in life, personally and professionally. But no one explicitly takes steps to upskill themselves for verbal or non-verbal communication skills. And the ones who do get stagnant after a point. Why is that? We are going to get answers to all these questions and a lot more from someone who has set the bar really high when it comes to communication skills. He is an ISB alumnus from the class of 2006, 12 years before I graduated from ISB, and is one of India's top public speakers. He is a venture capitalist, digital educator, content creator, and a social media influencer too. Is there anything that he cannot do? Such a wide range of experience and learning would have been impossible without him perfecting his communication skills. And that makes him the perfect guest for this topic. Let's welcome Ankur Warikoo. Hey Ankur, welcome to my channel. I'm so thrilled for the conversation that we're going to have today.
Thanks for having me, Madhuri. It's such a pleasure to be on your channel and speaking to you.
The topic for today's conversation is going to be the importance of communication and how one can upskill themselves over time. But the word communication is so widely used when we talk about success in life, personal or professional, be it making friends, interviewing, negotiating, or even in a social setting for that matter. But let's start at the root level. How would you define communication?
For me, communication boils down to a very clear understanding that whatever is it that you wish to speak to has delivered well on the other side. So a lot of people think about communication as the act of speaking or communicating. For me, communication is the act of understanding or comprehension. If the understanding or the comprehension has not happened on the other side, then there is no communication that's happened from yours.
Listening also forms a really important aspect of communication. And when you are communicating, the other party is listening. And if that does not happen, then the communication hasn't happened. You are one of the top public speakers in India. And I'm sure that the way that you speak today, verbally and non-verbally for that matter, is not the same as you would have spoken or you would speak 20 years back. That I'm sure that improved over time. Did you ever consciously take any steps to build upon your communication skills, or did it just happen with practice and learning and experience?
The first event was serendipitous, Madhuri. So I remember very clearly back in school, I think it was a seventh or eighth grade. I was terrified of the stage, just like most of us would be. Getting up on stage meant heartbeat racing, palms getting sweaty, legs trembling. And one such incident where it was one of those elocution contests that happened in school where you have to just recite something, and I don't know why I was chosen to be representing my class, and I go up there shivering, trembling, just blurt out whatever I had to, come back, and there was no reaction, nothing whatsoever. Like I was expecting something, forget claps, but I was at least expecting someone to be booing or hooting, and there was nothing. And I came back to my seat, and my friend was like, "What just happened?" And I was like, "What happened?" And he's like, "You went up on stage, you started speaking. We could see your mouth moving, but there was no voice coming out from your mouth." And that's what I did for an entire minute. I was just literally blabbering in my head while there was nothing coming out of my mouth. And that was my first experience of being on stage. And I vowed to myself that I'm never going to get up on stage. And the serendipitous event was in class 11th when we're supposed to give a farewell to the class 12 students who are passing out of school. And it's a very big event in our school. It's one of the big ones that we look out for in that year. And there were two MCs or comparers selected for that event. And last minute, one of them fell sick. And my class teacher, she adored me. She really looked up to my potential, and she felt that I had a lot in me than I personally felt. So she just pushed me to become that MC and fill in for that gap, which I felt was a very big responsibility and something that I just wasn't ready for. But I'm grateful to her for having pushed me, and grateful that that opportunity came my way. And that was it. That was my first formal willing experience and appearance on stage. And ever since, it's just been practice, 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 debating, not saying no to any occasion or any opportunity to speak in front of a crowd. So what most people see now, and they're like, hey, can we become a great speaker as you? Like, sure, you can. You just have to practice, because that's the only way that I know. I don't know of any other way.
Brilliant. I'd love for our viewers to understand the importance of communication in succeeding in life and in anything that you want to achieve in life from your personal or professional experience. Was there any time when things went amazingly well because of your communication skills?
It's very hard to pinpoint a certain event, Madhuri, but I do remember that the importance of communication, or the gravity of powerful communication, emerges in the toughest situations. It's usually very easy to communicate emotions when you are on a high, when things are going great, when things are happy, when things are smooth. But when things go hard, when things are tough, when things are rough, that is when the true essence and the impact of powerful communication or effective communication emerges. So all the incidents that I can reflect upon as a founder, particularly at Nearby, when we were going through tough times, when things were not as great as we had imagined or planned, and we still had to stand up and we still had to show up every day, irrespective. That is when I had to draw upon a lot of my communication and make sure that whatever is it that I was communicating to the team was, one, coming in from a point of empathy, realizing that they are going through a lot of emotions that need to be understood, need to be respected, need to be appreciated. And at the same time, we cannot lose focus of what the larger goal is, irrespective of the hurdles in front of us. And that reminded me of how powerful storytelling is, how powerful it is to connect with the emotions that people are going through, respect them, make yourself aware of them, and also put words to the emotions that people are feeling. Because quite often I feel that people feel a lot but struggle to articulate what is it that they're feeling. And if you in some way can help them articulate that, you in some way can put structure or method to the emotions that they're going through, it helps them considerably. And at tough times, I felt that to be one of the biggest weapons I had to just help the team be calm and still be focused.
There are two things that I took away from that. First was that you need to tailor your communication as per the situation. So different kind of communication skills are required even when you're speaking verbally. And second was to be able to speak for someone else when they are falling short of words. Was there any time when things didn't go well or as per your plan because you didn't have, let's say, the right set of communication skills, or maybe the way that you communicated wasn't at par for the expectation of that situation?
Yeah, several, and I'll struggle to name anyone in particular, but any occasion that I can think of where I thought of communication as the act of speaking and just delivering what was on my mind, almost always fell flat, because it was just coming in from a inside out perspective, not an outside in perspective. So I was just centered and selfish in my communication, and whenever we are selfish in our communication, that is not communication, that is an order. Speaking to team members, speaking to investors, even personal relationships and conversations, where all that I cared about was me being heard. When the truth is, it wasn't about me being heard, but me just saying what I wanted to selfishly. Didn't work.
That is such an important piece of feedback for anyone who gets to the wants to get to an executive level in their life. I know I want to, and I think this is going to stay with me for life. It's not about you getting heard, it's about other people hearing themselves via you. Some people realize the importance of communication, right? Because they are asking you is to, we want to become public speakers like you. But eventually I've seen that they don't end up picking up those steps. that are required for them to be at that stage. It could be because they feel that they don't need to improve, or they feel that whatever communication skills they have right now are enough for whatever life has to throw at them. Why do you think that is? Why do people stop themselves or don't take those steps in that direction to improve upon a certain area? And what would you suggest to these folks?
The answer is simple. Most people don't do it because it requires effort. And that effort is a lot driven by self-discipline, because there is no authority telling them that they have to do it. So they're not accountable to anyone. If suddenly public speaking was the basis for you to get promotions and appraisals, everyone would be a public speaker. But because it's not, people are like, oh, I can see what the indirect impact is. I can't really measure it. It's the same way about being fit. Everyone knows that they should be, but very few people are, because there is nothing that tells them until they get sick that they should do it and they have to do it. So this is just normal human DNA, and I don't think we can get away from that. And by that measure, I don't feel there's anything that anyone can be told they need to do if they're not willing to do it. So my job, or your job, or for that matter, anyone else who's a public speaker or wishes to get one, is not about convincing people that they should be doing it. It is just about making them aware of what happens once you do start this journey, both the struggle and bearing the fruit of your hard work. And then it's for people to make a choice. I remember, I think it was about 2 weeks back, someone just sent me a DM or an email saying, I want to be a confident creator and create videos, but I'm not confident. I'm an introvert. I lack the belief that I can be a good one. So what would be your suggestion? I was like, there is no suggestion. There's just one homework. For the next 90 days, just record a 1-minute video of yours, and that's it. Don't share it with anyone. Don't publish it anywhere. Once you've done it, watch it, record what you think you can improve, then delete it. You don't have to look at it again. And then do it for 90 days. After 90 days, you'll be a changed person. I guarantee you that. I guarantee that you will be a changed person. But the truth is, if I say this to 100 people, no more than 1 or 2 will do it, which is fine. That's okay. That's their choice. But I don't think there's anyone in the world who doesn't know what needs to be done. It's just about not getting it done.
Absolutely. It's all about discipline. And I can totally vouch for the video recording idea that you have given. I mean, I know I was so camera shy before I started my YouTube channel. But when I started it, I know there were so many mistakes that I made in the initial videos. They're still there, out there. But when I started watching those videos by myself, I realized what more things I could do, how I could speak, and how I could better that entire experience for myself and for others. And yes, practice has helped. So for anyone watching this, if you want to really, really work upon your communication skills, please record yourself. You don't have to show it to anyone, as Ankur said, but it's just for your own learning. And you will see a changed person after 90 days. Thanks for that insight, Ankur. Any recommendations for someone who wants to get started, right? We said that out of, let's say, 100 people, 1 or 2 might want to get started. Recording themselves for 90 days is one way. Are there any other recommendations you could give for them to, consistently build upon this skill over time?
There are 2 which are associated. One is reading always helps, because reading helps you form structures in your mind. What reading does best, beyond, of course, giving you knowledge and awareness, is it allows you to solidify how words come together. And that forms the foundation. If you read, and this is not about, of course, classic literature, if you read just things that are slightly modern in the same era that you are, then you will get to know how words come together. So that's number 1. Then number 2 is writing. And writing is extremely important to become an effective speaker, because writing helps you slow down your thoughts. We are always thinking faster than we can write. Writing is the slowest form of expression because it takes time. So when we write, and we write consistently, we actually train our mind to filter from all the thoughts that it has down to the most important one that it needs to communicate. And it paces it well. It's not about, oh, I can say this, I can say this, I can say this. It's like, of all the things that I'm thinking, this is what I need to be saying. And that, of course, requires practice, but writing is a great filtering mechanism for people to slow down their thoughts and to understand which of those thoughts are the most important ones to communicate. I don't know of too many people who are effective speakers who don't write. And I think if people begin to write, they'll only get better in their communication as well.
We spoke a lot about communicating with words, right? There's an aspect of communication which includes non-verbal aspects like listening, your body language, and your expressions. How do you think one can perfect or hone non-verbal communication?
I don't know how many people watching this video know this. When animation videos are created, let's say there is a Disney animation or anything like that, and you would have someone giving a voiceover, which is usually a celebrity. Right? So celebrities will be giving the voiceover for those characters. What is very interesting is that first the voiceovers are done, and after that the animation is done. And you would ask, why is that the process? The reason is because when those celebrities who are trained actors and, of course, seasoned professionals, when they go through that script and they are voiceovering or dubbing that script, the expressions on their faces are the ones that are bringing life to those words. And the animators then look at those expressions and try and weave those expressions into the characters while animating. And that then makes it real. Because I can say something like, it's good to be on this channel, Madhuri. Like I'm really, really excited, and I can't be happier. Like, I'm saying the same thing, but I could also say, hey, it's really good to be on this channel, Madhuri. I'm so excited and I can't be happier. Same words, very different expressions. So go back to, how would you actually in your head say this if you were to say this to your own self or to someone that you're comfortable with? And try and just practice that emotion to come out live. Don't pretend to be someone. Pretend to be yourself, because you are yourself, and that's the easiest person to be. You can't do it conscious, because the minute you become conscious, it goes away. So it has to be subconscious. And the way it has to be subconscious is for you not to think what you're saying, but to feel what you're saying. And when you feel what you're saying, it just automatically comes by. And I feel that that is a skill that is for life, because it's one of those subconscious skills that you build about the way you communicate, then, as you said, the words that you speak, which is what, 10-20% of the overall communication.
This was a brilliant conversation, Ankur. Thank you so much for all of your insights. It was lovely to have you over. Before I move on to my viewers, would you like to give it a go to ask everyone to subscribe to my channel?
I would love to do that. There is just so much knowledge and wisdom built into the content that you're creating, Madhuri. Thank you so much for doing this. I say this quite often, that it is almost a moral obligation on all of us to share whatever we are experiencing in life. Because if we don't do that and we keep thinking that it's not good enough, who will care, who will listen, who will react, then content that is not so good gets shipped out from someone else, and that becomes the golden standard of what people stand for, and that's unfortunate. So as individuals who have had varied experiences, as individuals who are genuinely interested and inclined towards helping others, you're doing yourself and the world a favor by sharing all your experiences. And whether you choose YouTube, which is today, or whether it goes into multiple other platforms, and hopefully it will, thank you for doing that. And I would encourage everyone watching this video to please subscribe to Madhuri's channel, because that is just not only support for what she's doing, but it's also going to help you meaningfully in your life.
That was so heartening to hear. Thank you so much, Ankur. I think I'm going to save this endorsement for life. Hey everyone, I hope you had a good time and learned about the basics of communication, how important it is to succeed in life, and how you can work upon your communication skills effectively. If you still have any questions, or if you have any points to share with us, please mention them in the comment section, and both Ankur and I will try our best to respond to you. Let's show some love to Ankur as well in the comments, and thank him for appearing on this video. And with our love, hopefully he'll be compelled to appear on this channel more often. You can connect with him on his LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube handles. I have mentioned all of the links in the description box, and you can connect with me on Instagram as well. You should be seeing the links somewhere here. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit on the like button, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel for more insightful content. Thank you so much for watching, everyone.